we have Rick Surrency in here with us, and we're going to be talking about what's coming up
Good morning,
at the
Susan.
next meeting. Good morning.
We have a lot of stuff going on. We have a school board meeting today, and it's our first one of August. First one of this month. We have another one in the middle of August. But I want to point out we're going to be recognizing one of our students at the beginning of the meeting, Gavin Manzo, who's a student at Palaca High School. It has won national honors in the archery competition.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Palaca High School won the state tournament for the state title this year. And I understand Gavin won some honors in Louisville, national honors.
Did.
Yep. So we're going to recognize him and his coaches, and it's a great time. We always like to start the meeting off with positive stuff.
Always started off with positive, and it's good. I know this young man, and he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And it's good to see him make all these achievements. There again, the archery program allows kids that maybe can't compete in the other sports. It doesn't matter what size, shape, gender you are. When it comes to archery, you all have the same time.
Yeah, archery has been a big thing in Putnam County over the last several years.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, it was started at Jenkins Middle School,
Yeah.
and it's expanded. And you're right, it touches a lot of students who maybe don't get plugged in other activities.
Other activities, it gives them a place to go. I watched them shoot at World one year down in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing to see the size, shapes, and realm of children that were there.
I mean, I've seen students who have. I've gone to the national competition several times. There are students who are in wheelchairs who shoot. I mean, who have all kind of disabilities. So archery really reaches out to kids of all ages, and you know.
And everybody competes with the same bow and the same arrow. So it's the most. To me, it's the most even competition that we have.
Right. You don't have to be some star athlete. You don't have to make the best grades in the world. It's kind of an equalizer.
And you don't have to have all the money to buy a certain bow. Everybody uses the same bows.
Right. But you know, that speaks to what we try to do in Putnam County.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want kids to be involved in extracurricular activities and clubs. Because just going to school every day is not always the funnest thing to do. You know, just going to class. I know most kids have fun, but there are some kids who like to do other things besides class.
Yeah, I have a socialite in the family.
But you know, we want kids to be involved, and those kids, by the way, probably do the best in class because, you know, school has a purpose for them. They want to go and they want to be a part of a team.
There's a professor, a doctor of, I think, history, sitting, and you know him, at Auburn University.
I sure do.
And stayed in school only to play baseball.
Yep. I actually coached him.
Yes, you did.
Way back many years ago. Yep.
And he's still full of himself.
Yeah.
But he, you know, it just shows you that it takes something that simple to keep somebody in school. He was a smart kid. He just hated class.
You know, I was just talking to Mary a minute ago. We had a new teacher training last week. Of course, Jim went to that, and it was kind of cool. We had over 40 brand new teachers being trained
Great.
in our county. Well, what was really remarkable is a number of those teachers were former students in Putnam County. And how cool is that our kids grow up, they want to be teachers, and they want to come back and give back.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that story. Well, you've got some great guidance counselors at the high school that were former students.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when they come back.
Yeah.
I like it because I know who to talk to. When there's a problem, you know who to go to at school.
Well, you know, when they grow up, they want to stay here.
They want to stay here and raise their families here.
Right.
Putnam County is a good place to raise your family.
And we welcome those teachers from out of the county too.
Yeah.
We love all of our teachers,
Chance
but
to get to
especially
know
the ones who grow up, you know, want to give back.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But we like new people coming in too.
Absolutely. And if you know, when you go out and you meet your teachers, I'm talking to parents, you know, just thank them for serving our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to do everything we can to try to make life comfortable for them, especially if they're moving into our county. Just want to try to make the transition smooth. But I encourage you to go out and meet your teachers.
And let them know that they have your support as a parent with their child in your classroom.
Yep, they have your most precious possessions. So
Yes,
we want to make sure there's that level of trust between our parents and our teachers.
Well, I used to walk in and say, "Here's my phone number. If you have a problem, call me."
Yep, that parent involvement thing, that's really important. And you know, we just want parents to ask their kids what's going on in school.
Find out what they did today.
That's the definition of involvement.
Go check their backpack.
Well, if they can help them get organized at home, I was just talking to Mary. She had a plan when her kids were in school.
Mary, I'm sure, had a 5-ream notebook for lessons. I mean, instructions for those kids.
Well, she said she had 3 kids at all 3 levels at the same time.
I did.
So.
She and I did both.
Yep.
But Mary's very together about notebooks, and I'm sure that they had get up. She made them lay their clothes out the night before. Boys just get up, put jeans and a t-shirt on, and go.
Well, one thing I want to point out, Mosley Elementary here in town is our first magnet school.
I'm going to be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, and we're actually, the focus of that school is we're actually teaching kids at an early age to get organized, to organize themselves.
Can I go?
Yeah, we all need that. Our parents need that too.
I'm not an organizer.
But keeping a notebook and just keeping a time log, there's so many parts of being organized. If you can organize yourself, you're putting yourself in a better position to learn.
Oh, yeah. And if you can learn to keep those notebooks and things, you can go, what did I have to turn in today? Well, you've got it written down.
Yep.
I was a writer downer. I had to write it down.
And if they can come home and parents say, what'd you do at school today, or what are you supposed to turn in tomorrow? If you have that organized notebook, parents can help them much easier if they kind of have their notes together. And
I can remember sitting at the dinner table discussing what we did at school that day. And then when it got cleaned off, the homework came out.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. And I'm just glad to see the kids ready to go back. I know it's early. I was talking to my kids in Texas who are teachers. Their wives are. And I said something about starting school this week. And they went, no. They don't go till the 28th. And I went, oh, don't tell your cousin. She goes this week.
The good thing about starting early now, when the semester ends, is around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come back in January, you can start off a brand new semester.
So they're not going to have to come back this year and take tests like they did last year then?
I know they shouldn't. They should, like semester tests, they should be able to do that before they leave.
I hope so, because I had, they hated that.
Kind of let their brain rest over the holidays. And
they were going to let it rest anyway.
Yeah. But, I remember back in mine and your day, we'd start school around Labor Day.
Yeah, but we didn't have the test.
You're right.
We did not have to do that.
I don't think I ever had to take any kind of test at all.
We had to take SAT and ACT.
Yeah.
And that was it. And CTBS started when our kids were in school.
Right.
And then it just gone on and on and on and on. And there is one thing that I really wish they would put back in schools, and that's cursive writing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't write to my grandchildren because they can't read it. They can't read cursive.
Well, kids are used to just typing on a word processor now.
Yeah, but I think they need to be able to read a document.
Well, they need to be able to sign their name.
They need to be able to sign their names. They need to be able to read historical documents and do things like that. And I guess because it's not on the test, it just went to the wayside.
Yeah. Well, we're in a testing society now, and actually there's a new law out now that has kind of, revamped our tests.
Okay.
And in some grade levels, they're going back to paper pencil.
That's good.
And they've kind of confined the testing window, if you will, which makes sense. Because it used to be, past years, starting after spring break, you spent the rest of the year testing.
Testing, yeah.
So that takes away from learning. So we want to try to confine those tests.
Yeah, we used to have, the end of semester test.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 weeks test, end of semester test, and whatever they threw in between.
Yeah.
Those pop quizzes that were fatal some days.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some of those too back in the day. Had to, what do they call that, cram the night before?
Cram the night. Yeah, I like the ones when you walked in on Monday morning, they said, pull out your paper and pencil. And we're going, what?
Yeah. Paper and pencil, boy, that's...
paper and pencil.
Yeah. But, anyway, things have changed a lot. Every kid is on a computer now, and life has changed.
Life has changed, but the schools still use a lot of paper and pencils and a lot of supplies. And if you don't have a child in school and you want to make a donation, you can hit any of the stores in town that sell supplies. They've got a list of what schools need what supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Buy some, just take them to the front office and say, here.
Well, along those lines,
they will be gladly received.
I'm glad you said that. I would encourage parents to go ahead and, instead of calling their school, maybe go online and look at their school's website, and they can find out what their, what the supplies are that are required for that school. find out starting times and that type of thing, and also their open house. Everybody has
That's
open
very
house.
important for open house.
But starting off on a positive note is so important. And
It is.
establishing
You
that
got to get
relationship.
everything off on a good foot, and you got to get the kids positive. The kids have to be looking forward to going back to school.
Well, if they see the parents have a good positive attitude
They
about
will.
school, that will percolate to the child. So.
It does. It truly does. And I had the privilege of raising 3 great boys, and yeah, we had our ups and downs, but they got a good education. They did something with their lives. They went on and got further educated, and what more can a parent ask for?
One other thing I want to point out about today's school board meeting is we've asked the school board to reconsider an action they've taken last year, and that's about, you remember they did away with transporting students within the 2-mile limit
Right.
for daycare
Mm-hmm.
specifically, and we found out after the school times, a lot of parents reached out to us and said, hey, we need some help getting our child from school to daycare because of the early start times for the younger children. So today we're going to ask our school board to reconsider and allow our buses to transport kids to daycares after school. And again, that's our way of trying to meet parents halfway and trying to make this whole transition easier.
Well, I think if they don't vote for it, they're not going to be happy.
Oh, I think they will. I think they will too.
I really do. I have to admit, I'm still not convinced on the school time, but we'll see where we sit next year.
Yeah. We're going to give it a shot, and I know it's not easy. People had to make a lot of changes, and I respect that.
I feel sorry for the non-motivated. Those are the ones that I worry about, but they're non-motivated anyway.
Well, we're there to work with them, and we're trying to reach out and help
And
them.
we want them all to get up and go. And as a grandparent, as a parent, be there, encourage them,
Mm-hmm.
ask them what they did. You need some help doing something. What are you doing in your clubs after school? What do you need? You got a yard sale this weekend? Get out and do something with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I've said this many times, and this is a proven fact, but Putnam County is one of the most giving counties.
Oh, yes.
And we talk about all the downsides of things in this county.
You let somebody have a need and it get out in the
Right.
public, this county is there for them.
So we have a giving county, and especially for our schools
Mm-hmm.
and our kids, if they have a fundraiser, people are lined up to help them out.
They always have been, and I think they always will be. And sometimes they buy tickets like all of us do and just never go.
Right. I
But-
bought so
but
many raffle tickets.
And I couldn't keep up with them. I didn't know when the raffle was, but I bought it. And
Yeah.
that's just the way it works.
I used to be out there fundraising too. I mean, my kids were in athletics
Yeah.
and cheerleading, and we all go through that.
Well, we're learning cheerleading this year and Anchor Club, so we're going to have a busy year. It's the only one that we have close to home. I get the long distance fundraisers. They send it to me long distance, and then I have to pay to have it shipped to me. Or wait till I go out there. One of the way. But it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's the one way I can be involved in their lives too.
You're making a big difference in their lives.
So, but we have fun.
Well, I'm proud of you, Susan.
You know,
You've been giving for many years. And
it's been worth it.
you and Bill both.
Oh, it's been worth it.
And your time. I mean, y'all have given so much time over the years.
What we love is going to the ball field.
Yeah.
And all the guys that come up to Bill. I mean, he coached for years.
Yeah.
And all the kids that he coached, all the guys just come up and they all got to go talk to Coach Claire.
That's the stuff that you can't put a price on.
No, it's not. And we have a friend that was a former teacher here and administrator, and we'll see him at dinner someplace, and he can't get out because of the students.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all there. So,
Yeah, there's no better feeling than to see you've had a little something to do with somebody's
you've
life.
changed one life.
There you go.
You have made it. You just changed one life.
And that's why all these teachers are lined up coming to work. Matter of fact, some of these teachers haven't even left work. They just stayed in the classrooms all summer.
I asked a friend of mine about his girlfriend the other day, and he said, "Well, she's been in school. I haven't seen her."
They have to run them out to clean the room, and then they're right back in
they're
there.
back in there painting, and if they go to a different classroom this year, and they're a different age group, and I know Buck's girlfriend, it went from ESC, what
ESE.
ESC
Yeah.
to 5th grade, and I looked at her and went, "Why?" She said that's where they needed me.
Well, I'll tell
That's where
you,
she went.
if you get a chance, if you don't do anything else, just tell a teacher thank you and
Yes.
how much they contribute to.
We need a big teacher appreciation day throughout
really
this
do.
county.
I mean, we have an appreciation week, but sometimes just tell
don't-
them thank you.
Yeah.
means a lot to them.
It does.
And we don't do that enough.
No, we don't. And when they call the house, you think the kids think they're in trouble. And I've had teachers call me just to say they've done good.
You don't get those calls too many times,
No,
do you?
and the night that Francie Newman,
Mm-hmm.
you know, called me, and the boys were going, "We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything."
Already pleading innocent, huh?
They were pleading their case, and I just want to call and tell you that I've enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And sometimes teachers don't have time with everything they do to do that. But
Well,
it's always good.
we used to ask teachers years ago make so many positive parent phone calls because you're right. A lot of times the news they get from school is not always positive.
No,
So
it's
we want to
not.
make sure they hear some positives.
Positive stuff, but it's fun to watch the kid's face when you get one of those.
Yeah, they're thinking, okay, what do I do now?
What'd I do? What'd I do? Can I get out of it? We appreciate having you come in.
Thank you, Susan.
Meeting is what time today?
3:30.
3:30.
And at 5:05 we have a budget hearing. It's that time of the year. Now, that's always an exciting time. But 3:30 is when we're going to be honoring Gavin, and then we'll have some business after that.
All right. You take care.
All right,
and
Susan.
We'll see you again.
Good seeing you.
All right. Bye bye.